episode was supposed to be presented in a totally different way, but then I moved very much last minute, and then I got very much sick afterwards, which I am kind of ish still. But while living in Salzburg, you cannot not do episode about Christmas markets. This whole Christmas market concept is so beautiful and is so sustainable and holistic at the same time. So I just decided to just take everything that I filmed beforehand and put it together and present to you guys this whole beautiful universe of Christmas markets. 7 years ago, I arrived around the 6th of December. So for my non-European friends, this is Saint Nicholas Day, and it's basically where kids get their gifts. I'm not gonna go into those details. There's, I'm sure, 100 different YouTube videos about this, so you can always check it out if you want to know how Christmas looks like in Austria. It's a bank holiday as well. That's the most important part. You gotta love Austria and their bank holidays. Respect. I feel like Canada should learn a little bit. Give a little bit more bank holidays for people to enjoy life, you know? So when I arrived, I was totally submerged in this Hallmark movie. I couldn't believe it was for real. Like this whole vibe, the whole city in those 500 years old buildings, and all those fairy lights and the vibe of the Christmas markets and the food and how everything looked just out of a movie. I remember when I arrived first, I was just in shock because I couldn't believe that it was for real. I was like, it's out of a, you know, those books that you read when you're a kid about Christmas? And when you realize later on that those books are actually, it's actually existing. It's not just in books and it's not just in movies. Those places actually very much exist. It was my first Christmas market in Europe. To be sincerely honest, Christmas was not on my top favorite holidays. Fortunately, I have witnessed Christmas being very fake, very ungenuine. In North America, Christmas is around malls. So you go to the mall to buy gifts, you go to the mall to take a picture with Santa Claus, and most of the time you just run like a chicken. I used to work for a few years as a customer service in a mall, and I have witnessed so many stuff during Christmas. Like, for example, huge crazy lines up to just take a picture with Santa Claus. Santa Claus never showed up. There was this moment that Santa Claus never showed up, and I was the person in the middle, and literally I had people angry, like so angry, aggressive, coming towards me, screaming at me that Santa Claus is not there. And that's when I knew that the whole world went just bananas. Like, this is not normal. Like, it's not, this is where you realize that there's an issue, there's a problem. I was as well selling gift cards for those malls. And unfortunately, you can see people were just so ungenuine, so unhappy, and just doing it because it's social norm to give gift cards. And it was just so and I became like a Grinch after all of this. You know, when you work for a mall for a few years, it's like it destroys the whole Christmas spirit for you 100%. Here, Christmas markets are almost at every corner of the street. In Salzburg, there's around 7 Christmas markets, and then there's all the villages around Salzburg that have their own Christmas market, the Advent market. Each of them has a different style. Each of them has something different. It's such a big part of society and community here. You go after work, you go for a punch or a Glühwein or a food or whatever to the Christmas market. You catch up with your friends. There's just the whole month, everyone meets each other at those Christmas markets. I love Christmas markets. Such a beautiful community, society kind of tradition. Each vendor has their own little house, have their own little specialty. It is totally local. You drink in a real cup in exchange of a deposit. For me, the biggest thing was there's no sponsors, there's no banners, there's no logos anywhere. And it's just so nice visually speaking. There's no capitalistic visual pollution. Everything is so artisanal, creative, sustainable, local, basic, simple. It's so refreshing. So Christmas became my favorite season. So I just decided to take you guys around 5 Christmas markets and just take it easy. Let's start by the historical one, which is called the Christkindlmarkt at the Dom- and Residenzplatz Square. And to this Christmas market, there's about 1 million visitors per year. I know this market by heart. Usually it's very crowded. I usually go only in a week after work, not during the weekends, because I feel very uncomfortable and dizzy. So here's the trick. I will show you where to go when this one is crowded. There's a beautiful Christmas market up the fortress in Salzburg. To go there, you just have to follow these beautiful orange stars that will lead you straight to the Weihnachtsmarkt. So the second that you leave Christkindlmarkt through the Kapitälplatz, you will see there's going to be this kind of like a really cute street going up, and then you take that street, which anyways, don't worry about it, there's going to be like orange stars guiding you through the way, and it's a beautiful walk up because there's a beautiful view of Salzburg that you will be seeing. And then the second that you get into the fortress, you're basically walking through those walls. Like, it feels like you're back in the medieval times. And the orange stars are still there to guide you through the fortress walls till you get actually to the Weihnachtsmarkt, which is really cute, cozy, smaller. There's way less people there because not everyone feels like walking up a hill. And the Glühwein tastes so much better after have walked a little bit up the hill and moved your body. So I really like this one. It's definitely my to-go Christmas market. And the plus bonus of it all is that there's this place a little bit hidden in the fortress where they're cooking Flammkuchen, and they're delicious, very delicious Flammkuchen, like baked in this God knows how old oven of the fortress. So it's a must to go. So this one has always been my favorite in Salzburg. It's outside of the Altstadt, so it's more cozy. You're like kind of in the forest. It's so well composed and magical. What is the most amazing of it all is that, like, in this courtyard, in the middle of it, there's this booth where you can buy some Glühwein and punch and everything. And around it, there's like this basically Christmas trees. There's those high tables where you kind of have this privacy with your friends drinking Glühwein around those Christmas trees. It's so nice, and there's all choir sing Christmas songs. And on the palace, like every day a new window opens of the Advent, so you can see exactly which day of the Advent it is. So the next 3 Christmas markets, they're a little bit outside of Salzburg. They are around Lake Wolfgangsee, and basically they're called the Wolfganser Advent. It's like the perfect Christmas day that you can imagine. So you have those 3 villages with 3 Christmas markets, and you can go to all of those Christmas markets through a boat. So, and there's beautiful mountains around, and it's just magical. Seriously, really nice. I went there when there was no snow yet, so it's quite green as you can see through the videos, but even with it being green, there's a lot of magic that was there. So we are now in Saint Gilgan. Gilgan basically have a Advent market that has like a Baroque style to it, doing the interpretation of Saint Nicholas. And I think it's one of my favorite one in the Wolfgangsee because it's so unique. The whole city basically is like in one, how to say, in like this one theme of like really colorful old school Baroque images, and the whole city as well has like about like 50 lamps all over the city, in like shops and in the restaurants, on the street. It's like the whole city basically decorates in like this one thema. It's so cool. Hey guys, okay, so we're in Strobl and Strobl. I'm probably not saying this right, but anyways, and this one is concentrated on the Nativity village. So there's a lot of shepherds everywhere, made from wood, sculptures, a lot of animals. I mean, a lot of animals, like goats, bunnies, you know, the usual. And everything is done by wood. Everything is simple, but like beautiful simple, like Austrian beautiful wood. I don't know how to explain that, but so it's way more focused on like the green side, and I feel like it has way like it has this kind of Austrian twist into it. It's really nice. Alright, so we're now in St. Wolfgang. I think it's the biggest Christmas market around the Wolfgangsee, and it's very crowded. Very crowded, but it's essentially very worth it to see because the whole Christmas market is like basically spread through the whole Altstadt, and it's more focused like on the romantic scene, but there's about like 70 sculptures, like human-sized sculptures scattered around the city. Village. We can say village. I love St. Wolfgang because I love the architecture. Like the houses are beautiful. Each of them is different, and it's definitely something to see, in my opinion. Like only if you just look at those houses here behind me, like all of them have something special on it, you know? Or even the house here, this one. Like all the paintings around the windows, but that's very Austrian actually, very Austrian architecture, and those Alpine houses and everything. It's beautiful with all the Christmas market and the food and everything. It's very worth it to see. So that's a wrap. I wish you a very merry, happy and healthy Christmas. May it bring you a lot of grounding, peace and joy.